15 years ago, I had a massive stroke and went over 2 years without an income at all and got behind in my child support. And then once I finally got on disability, I only got on SSI instead of SSD. So therefore, my ex-wife and my children did not draw a check along with me. And I just continued on, and at $500 a month for my income, I just couldn't pay the court over child support amount and continued to get behind. And then it got to the point to where they wanted to put me in prison because I was so far behind on child support. But the state didn't want to assume medical liability for me. So instead, they just pulled my driver's license and made my life miserable. And it took me 10 years to finally do what they wanted me to do, to release the lien on my license to get my driver's license reinstated, and I've done that. And to continue to keep my license reinstated, I have to pay $75 a month toward the arrearage of the child support. So they're applying the $75 a month, but they're adding nearly $500 a month in interest. So I'm taking one step forward and 4 steps back. What can I do about this interest to get this stopped?
Yes, interest sometimes is a big problem. One thing I would suggest too, if there's a change in circumstance for the payment that you're paying for child support, definitely look at a modification. Modifications are good for a change in circumstance. So if you do stop working or change a job and your income changes, a modification is something that should be filed with the court to let them know that your income has changed, and probably the level of support that you can provide is also going to be affected. When it comes to interest, interest is something that continues to grow on the account with the arrears. You definitely want to, first of all, identify how much your interest is at the point that you know your balance as well, and make sure that whatever money has been attributed to your child support is correct. If you want to keep receipts of that, that's a really good thing. But as far as your interest, unfortunately, there's not much that you can do because it's just going to continue to grow as the balance does grow. So you want to make sure that you can pay a little bit more on your child support to go towards the interest. If you do get a lump sum of money to pay on the interest, that would be something good as well. There's no way to stop the interest from growing, and the child support, of course, does not stop until the child turns 19. And even when the child turns 19, you still have to file something with the courts to let the court know that the child is 19 and that child support should stop. So at that point, it's probably best to know exactly what your balance is, to know that you want to pay on the interest and something that you're paying on, as opposed to just continuing to let the interest grow.
One thing that we see in the personal injury world is that back child support. Somebody gets injured in a car accident or something like that.
And they hold the funds.
They hold the funds. The state can actually file a lien against those funds.
Yes.
So I've seen cases just almost evaporate, like recoveries evaporate based on back child support, which is good news for the person who's supposed to be receiving that child support.
Yes, but it is, of course, bad news for the person that thought they were going to get a settlement.
Sure.
And it puts them in a really precarious situation. But that's why, a lot of times when we do have income tax time coming or Christmas coming, it is the best option just to try to pay on your interest of that child support, because it's going to continue to grow. And unfortunately, you can't stop that because the balance is so high.